Zach Berger and John Walton here joining us. I'll just kind of open up with the first question, if that's all right. Let's talk first with Colin. Give us your initial thoughts. Obviously, the game plan all year is for you and Trevor to kind of do your thing from the backfield. What was working for you today on 3 touchdowns?
The offensive line, they really opened things up. We knew that we had to come out early and hit this team in the mouth very early in the game. We know that we can beat teams through the air or on the ground, either one. They kind of allowed us to do both, which they have to respect one or the other. When they begin to respect the pass, we start running the ball. So the holes were opened up, and the coaches are calling the right plays, so we just put it where it's got to go.
John, what was running through your mind whenever Tanner went down?
Well, first of all, just prayers up to Tanner. I don't know what the injury is, but first and foremost, prayers up that he can heal and have a quick recovery. But I just went in and I wanted to keep going and keep doing what he had been doing. And like you said earlier, the game plan is to let Trevor and Colin do their thing and run the ball behind that good O-line. And when they started creeping up a little bit, the O-line did a great job, gave me time to take a couple shots down the field. Coach just calmed me down a little bit. I had some nerves going in, and they just told me, just do your job. Don't try to do anything special. Just do what the defense tells you, and we'll go from there.
Well, your first throw, I think your first play was a throw. Talk about that. I mean, that helped your nerves at all?
That did. I think that was the perfect first play because the defense was creeping in. I think they were obviously expecting a run. I pulled it and threw it to Jordan. He made a good catch, and I got hit on that play. So I felt like I got a little bit of everything. I got to make a read, I got to complete a pass and take a hit, and that helped me get into the flow of the game.
How about at halftime? What did your coach tell you? Because you probably started in the second half, and I guess for everybody, what's the mantra going in? You're up 2 scores right there.
We were just saying we had to do our job. We wanted to focus on getting the ball because we got the ball to start the second half, and we wanted to take it down and score and kind of set the tone for that second half, which I thought we did a really good job of. Behind the O-line, I think we completed 1 pass that drive, and the rest were good runs, and we were just trying to be physical with them and just kind of keep the pressure on them, keep going, and they just told me to, do what you do in practice. I'd get some reps in practice, so do what you can do and just do what the defense tells you and go from there.
Colin, did you notice anything in their defense that you could take advantage of? You guys ran the ball really well today.
We knew coming into the game they do a lot of stunts with their defensive line, so it's kind of like a guessing game. So if they twist at the wrong time and we just happen to call the right run play, we can really gash them. And I think that happened a couple of times. And then just our offensive line just being extremely physical the entire game from start to finish, that also helped us pretty well.
Zach, we had the feeling in the second half that after the injury to Tanner, that it might have been a chance for W&J to kind of pounce it and get back into the game. But in the third quarter especially, you all had a handful of sacks and got some key stops on 4th down as well, and a couple of turnovers on down. So talk a little bit about the defense coming out in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think the main part that we needed to get done was limit them to big yardage on 1st down. And I think we did that. They had a pretty big back, and he was gashed us a couple times. And I think coming out in the second half, we really needed to stop him on 1st down and force it to a 2nd and long, 3rd and long. And once we got that, we dialed up some pressure, and I think we got to him pretty good. So that was our game plan going in, just fit it out in our run fits. We knew they were going to come in 1st down, run their power, run their inside zone. So our main game plan was just to fit it out.
Zach, when you got in your drills with their wide receivers, you got up physical or up to the line of scrimmage on them. Was that something that you saw in any game film that you thought might be effective?
Well, most of our DBs, when we talked to them, they were going to give the ball to 89. I mean, he was one of their best receiver. He's got the most receiving yards, I think, in Division III. So we were going to, press man, get one of our best defensive backs on there, Cal Llewellyn, and have him really clamp on him. I think that was our game plan going in.
Colin, your run to score, was setting up that big third quarter for you guys. Talk about that. I mean, their coach said you broke Christ 16 tackles. But talk about that. I mean, what went through your mind right there? And you kind of said it early. You wanted to get out on them early there.
So really just pre-snap, just having my eyes on the right read. With them shifting a lot right before the snap of the ball, it can kind of throw you off. So just really being focused on that and making sure I have the right read. And then once I'm downfield, had some outstanding blocking from the receivers, and that was a joy to see. And then from there, just allow my eyes to be my feet and just make a play.
Okay, we're now joined by head coach Andy Frye. Coach, you want to make just an opening statement as you join us here?
Well, there's an old cliche. I'm a good coach when I have good talent, and I'm a fair coach when I have fair talent. You're looking right over here. These guys, they're just they're great leaders, and they're very good football players, and they're a joy to coach. I'm very grateful to just be part of it.
Coach, is the injury to Tanner a serious one?
Yeah, it might be, but we talk about a lot. These guys can sometimes kind of. I think it's a little running joke about adversity because I talk about it all the time. But I think that's part of the game. The game is within 2 hours. I've always said you're going to experience so many emotions within that hour and a half, 2 hours. You go from disappointment to elation to love to hate to, you can go on and on and on. That's the game. And, how you respond to it has everything to do with how well you'll come out. And, when Tanner got hurt, I didn't think our guys, they just knew, we say attack adversity, and that's what they did. And you attack it by what you've been preparing to do. We always talk about, our job is to teach and demand, and their job is to prepare and perform, and they prepared.
Your defensive backs got up close to the line of scrimmage on their wide receivers, and it seemed to bother them. It seemed to throw their timing off. Was that something you saw somewhere in the game films, or something that you just do every week?
That's what we do every week. Our corners are really good. And our wideouts will tell you they hate going against them. But then again, it's made our wideouts better because Cal and John are real strong. If they get their hands on you, they're really good at pressed corners. And quite honestly, they might be the two best corners in our region, I think. Cal's has been preseason All-American, but I think John's just as, they're rough, they're tumble, boy, they're tough. And I think that's what made Jalen and Jordan and those guys better. You practice against good football players, it makes you better. As we say, competition heightens the play.
Coach, talk about John coming in there, especially in the second half for you guys. What did you see there? And I guess he'd step out.
Well, I remember, I set up on the, our Ben stays up in the box, and I said, Ben, what do you think? And he said, well, we're just going to play what we got to play. And I said, well, what's his strengths? And he jokingly, you know what he said, John? What? He's jokingly said, well, he's really good at signaling.
2 years of it. So.
Yeah, that's right. I said, okay, what's the other thing? He says, Coach, we're going to run our offense. John knows what it is, and we'll run it. And I think he did, an outstanding job. The fact is, he's thinking he's signaling. Next thing you know, he's one play away from playing, and he got out there. And I thought you ran the RPOs very well. Now our offensive line is very good. And our two running backs, Colin will tell you, those two. They're good. They're good.
Now he gets to go against not you.
Yeah. All right.
Untied.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I don't think our guys are. I think they're just overjoyed the fact they get to compete against the best, and that's what you want to do. Golly, I want to play. I want to play the best. Don't you guys? No.
Sir. Competition.
Yeah. Coach, before the game, you talked about playing a clean game. How you feel like you did that today?
Well, I think we played pretty well clean. I was impressed with how well our corners kind of, because quite frankly, 89 is pretty good. And the quarterback, man, he's got a fast release. And, fortunately, we were able to get a little bit of pressure on him. And that kind of throws off your timing. And I'm sure 89 was frustrated. And the other guy's a big wideout. But clean, yeah. I'm sure John would say, I wish I hadn't thrown two interceptions. It wasn't like he would have. I'm going to throw just two, Coach. But other than that, you know, we got the ball to the kids, and he pulled it when we had to pull it, and yeah, I would say we played pretty clean. Our special teams, you know, I thought we could maybe put a little more pressure on them, but we realized the kicker was getting the ball off pretty fast, and you know, our kickoff did a great job of covering. That's one thing they did really good. You know, when you can make your team start from the 20 or less, you're in a good position.